Too much stuff. First world problems. You don't use a drill with 80/20. It's like Lego. You clamp things into it, but you don't screw it. You don't need to drill holes in it. I don't think, Dave, Stream Decks operate in a 90-degree position. I think they only operate in landscape. I inquired about a couple of shares. Well, a share in 2 different planes this week. I saw a couple of planes. One was down at Stapleford, and one was up at Duxford. And I inquired about them both, and they've already gone. I was like, no. So I've still got my eye out for a share in a plane. Yes, Foxtrot. The mixture on the 2.8, you just leave in the fully forward position. I want something with better avionics. Moss Pittman. I think one of them was a Piper Alpha 28 and the other was a Piper Alpha 32. I can fly... I'm happy to fly any of those GA planes. As long as there's room to fit in, they're reasonably quick, and they've got good avionics, that'll do me. And I can drive to it. How do plane shares work? You basically buy a share in a plane, and which will cost you a few thousand, and at the end when you want to sell it, you need to find another buyer for that. And then there'll be like a monthly payment, which will pay for the hangarage, insurance, all the rest of it, and then you rent it. When you fly it, you pay like a wet or a dry price, but that's usually cheaper than hiring a plane. And then normally they have some kind of booking system, like the group will have its own booking system. They're usually pretty flexible. Big Daddy, there's no way of turning it off on the TBM, but what you do when you throttle back, just come all the way back and then go forward very slightly, and it'll stop going landing gear, landing gear. Wet is the rental price including fuel. Dry is the rental price and you pay for your own fuel. Sony said they give us plenty of notice to pre-order, but they just said go and pre-order. All of a sudden they sold out in minutes. Yikes. It's the same when Honeycomb brought out their throttle. It's the same when Nvidia released the 3080, like the bots are just snatching everything up. Yeah, so what happens, Vaughn, is you buy a share, and it's normally called an equity share, right? Which means you are part owner of the aircraft. Now, because of that, it means you're liable for it as well, so you have to make sure it's insured. If things go wrong with it, it's your problem, as well as everybody else in the group. But it also means that everybody takes care of the plane because they all own the plane, unlike a rental plane, right? And then your monthly fee it's worked out. Normally somebody runs the group and they'll give you like a breakdown of the finances. Some of the money will pay for hangarage and insurance and the 100-hour check and all the rest of it. And some of that money, the monthly money, will always go to an engine fund. Because after 2,000 hours, the engine has to be rebuilt. And that's like a 20 grand expense. So you need to build up an engine fund over the years to pay for it. And that's literally how the group works. Yeah, all the pre-orders, USMC vet, have been a disaster. All of them have just had bots snatching everything up. Lol, Dave. You'd probably spend the money on kebabs. You'll never stop people trying to make money, USMC vet. And if somebody can buy an item, pre-order, and then they'll sell it for twice the price, they'll do it. And if they can use a bot to do it, they'll do it. They don't care, you know. Cabacciano, cheers from Brazil. Did you know that, do you know if there'll be an add-on patch with replay mode anytime soon? I wish. They've been asked for replay mode for a long time. It was something in the preview that we were asked about. Whether they will, when they will, don't know. Dave, you should get your 3080 Ti and put like a cup of coffee on it and let it do like a coffee ring stain, and then take a photo of it and just go, oh, I might open this later. Coffee stain on the 38. That really blasé. Yeah, I don't know how replays would work. They'll have to be tracking all the weather and everything. I'm not going to finish this beach in time for landing. Rip. Just trying to slow down a bit. Right, we're at 3,100. Which means we're going to be where we need to be. You sound very busy, Dave. You're going to fly in lieu of a procedure soon. I'm kind of thinking I'll have my pizza ready by the time we're on short final. Yeah, you can rent a TBM. But I decided to rent the caravan. Just because it has a bigger payload. Thank you, 3 months, Striker. 500 an hour for a TBM. Yeah, but it carries literally half as many. You often eat pizza while flying RL. No. That's why I'm doing it in the sim. Yeah, I love flying the TBM, but I'm trying to make money to get my virtual airline. That's it there, I think. How do you know the descent levels? Well, basically at Z-Dog we had to be above 3100. At Jello we have to be at 2500. Unfortunately, the caravan wouldn't let me load the procedure in, so I don't exactly know where Jello is, apart from it's 5.4 nautical away from the threshold. So when I'm 5.4 DME, I need to be about 2500. That's the best I've got right now. And I'm at 2500, and I'm 7.7 DME, which is why I brought my vertical profile back, because I'm a bit too low at the moment. So it's kind of guesstimation in a way. Because it's not a precision approach anyway, because it has no actual glide path. Jag0351, thank you for subbing. Hygar Hellfist, thank you very much for subbing. Do you know what? I just looked up. I saw the chat, and it was like, thunder, 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 and I was waiting for something to go, Thundercats, ho! Bring the speed back now. We need to get into flaps 1 because we're at 5.4 DME. You don't remember Thundercats? If you don't remember Thundercats, go on YouTube and put Thundercats intro or something like that. Every day after school. I don't know if they remade it or not, to be honest. Right, we're done. Snackage is done.
Mile final runway 03.
Solo Snooky, thank you for subbing. Welcome.
0 at 4 knots.
There you are. Managed to eat all the food and then glide in like a boss.
500.
I think we get paid after this one as well. Interesting how it's drifting to the right when the wind's coming in from the right.
Landing time not. Landed at 42 Alpha, Melbourne Mud, Miller.
Made it. And the in-flight snack was quite good. Pizza and a custard cream. Not bad in-flight service, actually. Where are you supposed to go here? There's like two pipers over there. There's a guy stood in the middle here. I don't know how I'm supposed to get to him.
Happy anniversary, Nata.
We go there instead.
Engine off time not. End of flight, registered in on-air company.
Have you found the DA40 and found a way to disable the GPWS warning? No, I haven't really flown it enough to find that out. It takes ages to get XP without doing the missions. Woohoo, 38 grand. Woohoo! Out of curiosity, how much of a loan can I get now? 30 grand. Wow. 30 grand at 19%. I think the Bank of England base rate right now is 0.1%. 192 weeks. Get out of town, bro. Even that one's 9.7. That's like 48 weeks. 20 grand. You can make almost that in one trip. Just, it really is like Wonga, this screen. Owner's equity. See, I've got this skill tree. I put 1 point in bank loan, but honestly, I wish I never bothered because they're just useless. This is where it's at, medical jobs. But to get medical jobs, you need to put 2 points in this, and then 2 points in this, and then 2 points in this. You need 6 points, right? I have 3, which means I need another, like, 2 levels to get 4 points. And getting 2 levels on Thunder is not easy. And on the way, you have to get these useless things just to get medical jobs, which I don't quite understand. You can undo, can you? Undo. What happens? No, you see, you can't undo after you've saved it. You need 10 points as the first group has 3 in it. Yeah, but it only has... Oh, it's 2 points per pip. I presume, though, you can put 2 points in that pip, and then 2 points in that pip, and then 2 points in that pip. You don't need to get all 3 levels in that in order to progress, I don't think. So if you go like 1... Oh, that put 2 in there, and then you go like that, but I can't because I don't have enough points. Those skill require 2 skill for each one. Yeah, but do you have to fill them in order to do the next one? Or can you just take 1 pip in it? Squirrel pepper. Where are we? 42A. 42A. Let's see what we got. You cannot find jobs from a small airport. Oh my god. So now I need to relocate to a big airport. How do we find... I know I turned small jobs off because I didn't want to end up in like insignificant airfields again. Like farmers' fields and stuff. Find jobs. What does this airport minimum size mean exactly? What's the significance of 1? 1 to 5. So if I said 2, I don't get any because this airport's a 1. It says size 1 here. What's the airport size? Oh, it's the runway length. Okay. Expires in 1 day. So if you do that job, you get 35 grand. But that has 3 trips in it. From here to 3 different places, look. And that pays 35 grand. We can't do that because it's medical. We could do that one. Pays... Oh, let's see, that's too much payload, I think. That's £3,000 of payload. £3,100 and something pounds of payload. 1 is an airstrip, 2 is a county, 3 is municipal, regional, international. Gotcha. Thank you. Would you have to go back to the home airport? No. The only time you need to go... Well, yes and no. Look, so if you can't carry... If you could carry everything to here, you could then haul the last bit there. Otherwise, you'd have to come back and get it. So it really depends on what you can haul. If you wanted to haul 3,100 pounds of stuff, you would need to be running fairly light on your fuel, bearing in mind that you're flying 182 nautical, and then you'd need to refuel there. With the 35k one, can you load it all in one go and do the trip of short hops after? 2,800 plus 800 is 3,400 pounds of payload. It sounds unlikely, but that would be the ideal thing. If you can basically get up there and then fly the rest, that would be perfect if you could do that. That's about 3,000 pounds. You not have room for 180 miles of fuel. I don't know, what's the fuel burn on the Caravan? But it makes you, doesn't it make you land with, how much fuel do you have to land with to remain legal? 30 minutes.
Happy anniversary, Natter.
Bullets Co, thank you for 51 months. Ordered a 3080, was told it would be delivered yesterday to get an email that it's pre-ordered, not in stock, ETA's November. RIP. Still, it's worth waiting, I reckon. That's true, Taco. That is true. It's an 11 grand job there. So what you could do with this one is you could haul 1,800 to here and then fly back, pick up the other two, and then fly here, then here. So you could kind of do it in 2 trips, but I don't know if that's going to be cost effective worth it. You still pay 35 grand, but you're going to be flying quite a bit. You're going to have to fly to 08 IS and back, which is 340 miles. Is it worth the fee? I don't know. It doesn't really give you a fuel burn rate, does it? Oh, there you go. Rent price. How much fuel does it burn? Estimated cruise fuel flow, 369 pounds per hour. Great. So we list the capacity in gallons, then we have the fuel burn in pounds. Jeez, man. Can you just give us a gallons per hour? Is that... Does anybody know what that is in gallons per hour? £6.1 per gallon. So that's 6 gallons an hour. Nah, that can't be right. 55, that's more like it. 55 gallons per hour. And 55, so that's about $200 per hour. And in that time at a cruise of about how much the cruise speed? So you could have gone there in just over an hour. It would cost you, rounding up, $250 there, $250. It's $500 there and back. And then the same again. So I'd say about $2,000 in fuel. That would net you $2,000 of fuel plus $1,000 an hour to rent. Probably about $4,000 in total, $9,000 loss. Probably going to clear about 26 grand, I reckon. Like rough figures. Beechcraft Baron G50 is the best all-round for this sort of stuff, in your opinion? Well, I didn't rent one of those. Or take that and try and squeeze in 3,000 something pounds, which means not much fuel to fly that distance. But then to fly that distance, you wouldn't need that much fuel. So the rest of them only pay like that's a single hop for 9,400. So you're going to lose 1,000, just over 1,000 in rental for that, plus the fuel. You probably lose about 2 grand. You get 7.5 out of that in an hour. Fuel weight equal to water weight? No. No, well, the kind of fuel that you put in a GA plane weighs about 0.7 of water. It's lighter than water. It floats on it like oil does. That's a single hop. 2,300 cargo. We could take that. 12 passengers, blimey. 12 passengers on a business trip. But that would leave us in a major airport. Does anybody know? If you go to major airports, do they have like bigger jobs for more money than the smaller ones, or is the smaller ones where it's at generally? The other thing you could do is look to fly further or shorter. See if it kind of pays more money that way. That's a lot of payload. Into Kansas. There are some very good jobs sometimes. What you've seen, it's about the same in both, fair enough. There you go. Here's one. There you go. 29 grand. I mean, it's 400 nautical away, though. It's pretty far. It's probably a bit too far. For something that cruises like 150. It's like 2.5 hour trip. I pay 30 grand, though, for almost one direction. Perishable goods. Do it. Dude, it'd be like 2.5 hours in cruise. Wonder if there's like a high-paying short haul. See, TBM would be better at those long jobs. You what, mate? 36 grand? For doing like little teeny tiny hops? 36 grand? Time constraint. Oh yeah, you see? That's really annoying. That means you have to do these 3 and then you have to wait and 13 days before you can do the rest of it. That's really frustrating. And it pays stupid money. Wait, army personnel for 20k? 8 and 12 packs. So you'd have to fly them. You'd have to fly that in 2 trips. But that's a lot of money for a short trip. Never pick the ones with time constraints. I suppose you can get lucky, but yeah, I think I'll take this. This seems like a good job. As long as we can fit 12 people in, which I think we can. Reckon we can do that. Which do you prefer so far? I don't know, dude. I like the job variety that comes in on a... You definitely get a lot more job variety. And it's not being driven by other players generating, you know, green jobs, as it were, like it is in FSE. You could load the passengers manually into plane and Microsoft Flight Sims to simulate the weight. You can do, yeah. Why would you, though? You'll burn more fuel and cost yourself more money. What's the point? Right, if we take this one first and take the 12 passengers, 63 nautical. So that's going from 42A to jammy. Right. So 4Flight doesn't know what jammy is. There's the browsing on. 42A. Nope. We're back to one of those unknown type things again. Jammy, it says, let's have a look. 245 feet elevation. Doesn't tell you anything about the length of the runway. Nope. Does it have a runway? It has an FBO, bizarrely enough. So there's no runway, but it has an FBO. And 4Flight doesn't know where it is. Okay, let's just try it, I guess. See what happens. It should be southeast anyway. Put it on satellite map. I can't go to here and then go here. If you like, I can't carry 20 people, so I have to fly, then come back, and then take the others. Comes up as 23 YW on air nav. Let's have a look. Is that the same place? I don't know if that's the same place. You put jammy in, it came up with that. That's interesting. Well, it knows what 23YW is. Whether that's the same place or not remains to be seen. I would argue that that's not right. I would strongly suggest that is definitely not right. So it ain't that one. Okay, let's just do it. Can we get any fuel where we are? No FBO. How much fuel have we got? 100. Yeah, we got 100 gallons. With 30%, we're fine. Let's just hope Microsoft Flight Sim knows where it is. Otherwise, we're really in trouble. Mr. Hambone, thank you for almost 4 years. All is well, sir. Thank you. That's really weird. Where do they get their data from? It kind of feels like FS Economy. I wonder if there are airfields they pull from different sims. And so they're in some sims, but not others. But if an airfield's not known by anything else, like 4Flight or, you know, Sky Vector or whatever, surely it shouldn't be in here. Sky Vector know about it. You put Jammy in there and it comes up with these three. It's none of them. Just nothing seems to know about it. Could be an airfield that's no longer in use, so won't show on Sky Vector. But why should it show on our? Like with FSE, you kind of expect it because FSE is quite an old product, whereas on Air's not. It's weird. Right, 42A, let's see if it's got it. If it doesn't, I don't even know how we're going to get there.
TOS system test. Okay.
It knows where it is. It's about the right distance. Go figure that. If it's the runway you think it is, crop dusters use it. Alright, well, we can at least get there. I didn't check the alternate, actually.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Yeah, Manstraits just need a permit off a mod. It's really short. Well, we like a challenge. Right, let's get taxi light on. Flyby 1 mod released a version to fix the number 1 engine shutting down. It's not an official release. Oh, that's cool. So they actually found the problem. That's insane. I think Microsoft had patched that fairly quickly. Does anybody remember a TV show called, what's it called? The Long Way Round? That had, it was like a motorbike, Ewan McGregor and Charlie Bowman, was it? And they were doing a motorbike trip around Eastern Europe. Remember that? I really enjoyed that. It was like 2007 or something. It was so good. Last night, I watched the first episode of The Long Way Up. Because I've got Apple TV. I think it's unique to Apple TV. Basically, they've done another one. They filmed it, like, they planned it all and filmed it, I think, tail end of last year. And it's called A Long Way Up. And they come in from right at the bottom of South America. They're coming all the way up and driving to Los Angeles from South America. 13,000 miles. But they decide to do it on electric bikes. Electric-powered bikes. Which is amazing. Basically, Harley Davidson built them. Electric bikes that they'd never released before. They literally designed it in like 3 months and built them for them. And they look amazing. They look actually amazing. Well, anyway, I watched the first episode last night. I'm really, really enjoying it. Mrs. Squirrel's like, oh, this is great. Because we watched the first series many years ago. But if you've got Apple TV, thoroughly recommend it. I'm going to watch the second episode tonight. Yeah, the range, so like when they started to go and see companies, every company said to them, the problem is the longest range you can get on any electric bike right now is 70 miles. They were like, 70 miles? We've got to do 13,000 miles. How the heck are we going to do that? Anyway, I won't spoil it. But it's really interesting stuff. Right, props, mixture, flaps are down. Trim set, lights are on. Altitude 4,000. Climbing right turn, 62 nautical to run. Let's do it.
Airborne time not.
Okay, flaps are up. Hey, donkey. Hey, Wyland. Yeah, it's an Apple TV exclusive. I think they funded it or something like that. But it's really enjoyable. Okay, nav mode, V-speed. Cool. So why then your flight panels are going to fit on each side of this, one on each side. They're basically bolt into the Cytec radio comm. They sit on the side there. But obviously I've got to move the stream decks out the way to do it, and I'm not going to do that till my throttle quadrant arrives from Honeycomb. So all that will then go in, because I literally have to rejig all of this. Like, this throttle has to come out, those stream decks have to move, this stick has to come out, the iPad has to move over. It's going to be a mad shuffle, so I'm going to wait till I get the throttle. But funnily enough, these Cytec panels are made in a modular way with the holes to fit with the flight instrument panels, and they're made with the Honeycomb. They have the holes to mount into that as well. So it'll all look good in the end, hopefully. I just got to find space for everything. But yeah, I got the panel working. Spad.next makes it work fine. I would plug it in, but I don't want to crash the sim. Let's see where we are. He doesn't know where we're going. He just knows that we're heading that way. I may well, Dave, I may well ask you to do something for the Stream Deck. Something custom. It depends how... I mean, how strong would it be, Dave, if you 3D printed it? Korea Insincere, thank you very much for the bits. Very generous. You got your throttle 2 weeks ago. Wait, none of the throttles have been shipped out yet, Donkey? How have you got one 2 weeks ago? Here's a picture of the runway. Is it a runway? Okay. Yeah, so that's basically a sandy dirt track. You like how I have to pay Disney to subscribe to Disney Plus, to then have to pay $30 to watch Mulan? Yeah, I actually... So the way I view those things, six-pack, is I vote with my feet. By that I mean I will not pay that money. Yeah, it's the same with Sky. I pay Sky for Sky TV and Sky Movies, and then they put movies on the box office about 6 months before Sky Movies. So I go, okay, I'm not going to buy anything off Sky Store, off the Sky box office. If I don't give them money, then I'm not part of the problem. And if everybody else did that, they wouldn't do it anymore, because they're not going to get any money. So I'm not going to buy Mulan, even though, you know, people in the family want to watch it. It's like, nope, we'll just wait. You have the panels 3D printed for your iRacing and plan to do the same for your flight sim. Yeah, that's the problem though. The problem is like designing them. Designing the 3D panel is the issue. Mulan's not worth $30 anyway. Honestly. Dragon Hero, thank you, 46. It's like those 3080s you see on eBay for like $2,000. You just think, dude, just wait a few weeks. If I go on a VATSIM, not sure what I could fly on VATSIM safely. That's the problem. Yeah, but Dave, I'd have to come up with some kind of design to hold the Stream Deck, and then something that would mount, you know? It's a difficult problem. It needs a 3D design. Like, your 3D printer can only print out a design, and the problem is the design. You like designing things to 3D print? I'll send you some measurements. don't know, Wyland. I've never looked. I don't have a 3D printer, so I've never looked for designs for them. You told me, Dave, that you're not really that good at thinking in 3D, therefore you don't do the designs. That's what you told me. Confederation, welcome back. Yeah, but Dave could design a 3D kebab and print it. He bought the compound and supposed to arrive on Monday. Wow, he did well. Most stuff is sold out. Just bearing in mind that you mean this one? Just bearing in mind you'll need that SPAD not next to get it to work properly. Logitech drivers still don't work. No, Chris, I'm not waiting for a 3090. You need to buy a tool called, let me show you, this here, SPAD.next. This is what will drive your Cytec panels properly. Also your Logitech panels. It can actually drive a lot of stuff now, but you need it for this because the Logitech drivers don't work. Yeah, Chris, I'm more interested in like an overclocked 3080 with more VRAM. That would be more what I'd look for, I think. With which sims is it compatible? That I do not know. You'll have to have a look on the website. I do not know the answer to that. I would assume things like P3D, FSX, and Microsoft Flight Sim, I assume. Not for me, Barry M, and not for other people I've seen you try to use it. It doesn't work. .3080 Ti is confirmed. I heard they were trying to get rid of that Ti name. So what do you plan on doing? Are you going for a Navi or are you going to go stick with NVIDIA? What is that, Ninja Cat? Stream Deck mount horizontal. Wonder if he'd share the design. What application can give you proper route waypoints? Do you mean like Sky Vector? Make sure you change your setup picture that's in the middle. It looks weird that it's out on the side. Wait, what now? I don't understand. Well, I don't know why then. What was you expecting more than... You surely couldn't have been expecting more than 30% jump. You had to start it after starting Microsoft Flight Sim, but after the new patch, that's not required. Wait, there's been a new patch? I think we're going to have to do one of those circling patterns again to try and find this thing. Shouldn't this flight have RL webpages? Oh, I see what you mean. Well, the problem is that none of the systems I use know about the destination, so it's kind of hard to make a flight plan. And if you want to make one in the sim, you need to go back to the main menu. But we're VFR anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. The live view of your controls, it looks weird when it's on the left side and not in the middle. Oh, I see. So you think that the screen that's on the bottom left, you think that should be in the middle of the screen? Is that what you mean? The problem is like you have to consider other things like the frame where I'm in the camera, plus the chat width, plus the other stuff that's next to it with the sponsor logos. Like it all has to fit in somewhere, so it would never be truly center on the screen. It's always going to be like offset somewhere. Where's Pippa Cam? Good luck with that. Can't even get Pippa to sit still. Do you know what we need to have to fly for your company when it's ready? Zugoku, I don't know, mate, because I've never done this before. I think I just create the VA and then people can apply for it. That's, I think. And then I think I have to then say, set up, I don't know what I need to do. I need to set up how much is paid. I think when the company does dividend payouts, you get paid. It's a bit more to it than FSE, but I've not really read the manual on it because it's going to take me a while to grind that 100 grand. I want 30. Y-Food sponsorship lasted for a month, Benna, and I need to catch up with them next week to find out if they want to carry on or not. Like, you know, I love the Y-Food drink, but obviously from their point of view, they're looking to sponsor people and they want to see some kind of a return. So whether the return was enough for them remains to be seen. You struggle to find the right jobs. It needs both a to and a from, or am I missing something? You don't need a to necessarily, Joe, but they did add something recently that allows you to search. I'll show you in a minute. Just remind me when we're back on the job screen. It's not quite... I know what you mean. It doesn't work quite how you think. I've not tried Sim Toolkit Pro with Microsoft Flight Sim. Is it any good? Or is it more for, like, IFR stuff? Your Y-Food items arrived yesterday, JTB. Have you tried it yet? What do you think? I know plenty of people who bought it, Benna. Whether they use my code or not, I don't know. And this is what I said to Y-Food. I said the problem is you're not tracking it terribly well, I don't think. So you've probably got loads of Y-Food sales that have not been marked as via me. There are managers and pilots of permission could do a bit of a tweak. Right. Trying to decide if you want to get rid of Navigraph and get 4 flights. That is a tricky one. See, until Microsoft Flight Sim came along, Navigraph also gave you the data, like the air cycle data, into your sim. But with Microsoft Flight Sim, that's automatically updated, so that's no longer necessary. I think with Navigraph, sorry, with 4Flight, I think you can subscribe. They only do annual memberships, I think. Anyway, I think if you subscribe and cancel, you might get your pro rata money back. I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think of ways that you could try it. Why do you have the chat in the overlay? Because my streams go to YouTube, and that way the chat's always archived. If you watch these streams on Twitch now, then obviously it replays the chat. But if you watch these streams on YouTube, bearing in mind that you can't watch the streams on Twitch after 2 months because they delete them, then on YouTube you get the chat. So, you know, we had a long discussion about this, and, you know, every year or two we discussed whether to have chat on screen or not, and the verdict is always keep it. Conway Boy, 81 months, sir. Thank you very much. 3 months to go for 7-year sub. Outrageous, dude. Outrageous. And a half a year for the new simulator hub. Silver Nuts, thank you. When you get your honeycomb beta throttle quadrants, how much functionality buttons are you going to lose from the current throttle that you will have to remap somewhere else? So on my throttle quadrant right now, I pretty much use hardly anything. It has to be said. The only thing I'd potentially use on this throttle quadrant is the reverser. The flaps I do on the Stream Deck. The mixture, actually, the mixture axis, propeller axis, and throttle axis, those 3 axes will be on the throttle quadrant, so I won't lose them. And then all I need is to map something to the reverser. Apart from that, I don't tend to use everything else. So I'm not going to lose a lot. Be a tough landing. The caravan landing distance is about 1,600 feet. This runway is 1,500. 1,600 feet? No, it's not. Dude, it's not. I can get it in way less than that. You are using the reverse, like, prop, aren't you? You'll be fine. I'll show you. Finding the field's the problem. Start my descent from 4,000 feet. Well, how far have we got to go? Nah, we're not ready yet. Literally like 13 miles away. And we're going to drop down like... Actually, I don't know what the elevation is around here. This thing has a radio altimeter minimum. Why doesn't it show you the ground elevation somewhere? You can put that in, so it has a radio altimeter, but it doesn't show you where... It doesn't display that to you anywhere, does it? Or is there a way of turning it on? Do you have reverse the map to an axis or a button? So you have it mapped to a button. So what happens is if you look in your controls, there's a... It comes on about 2,500 AGL. Okay. So if I set that to be 1,000 feet. There's 2 buttons you can map. One is a hold reverser and one is a toggle reverser. But either way, let's say you use toggle. With toggle reverser, you press it once, and then when you put the thrust lever forward, it does a full reverse thrust. With the hold, you have to hold it down as opposed to toggling it. but you still need to use the throttle. Speaking of difficulty settings, the caravan, try Lukla, bin from Lukla. Yeah, that's in one of the bush things. Hang on, I think we need to descend. A video on how to set up and activate autopilot for both IFR and VFR. I did a video on how to set up the autopilot basics. Okay, it should be down here somewhere. Could be that cluster there. Could be that. Possibly. Or that, or that. Could be any of these. Oh boy. There's the radio altimeter now. That's good. So that means the elevation is about 200. Because you can see the difference between the barrow and the radio. So we know the field elevation's about 200 and something. You just purchased a plane but it's located in an airfield with no fuel. Okay, just cancel it then. Oh, you bought it? Oh, rip. I reckon that's it. Right there, you see that? That cluster of houses there. And if you don't get it right over the trees, you're going to hit the building at the back maybe. But you could probably land it on this bit to be safe. What do you reckon?
Weed 40 at 9 knots.
Hundred.
500.
I think that's it. Right next to those huts, I reckon.
Happy anniversary, Natter.
We're passing in off our left wing right now. I think that's got to be it. No, it was off our left wing. It wasn't beneath us. What you reckon? You reckon this thing? Just to the other side of that dark green. I can try and get in there, I guess. Alright, let's see what happens then. Trick is trying to land fairly slowly. This thing floats quite a bit.
Landing time logged. Landed at Juliet Alpha Mike India, Jamie's.
You see what I mean? Caravan does not need 1,600 foot of runway. It just doesn't need it. It just lands on nothing. Need to find somewhere to park now. But yeah, the trick is with a short landing like that is to just get the plane down. Like, you need to come in as slow as you can, but don't float it. Just get the plane down and then just get the brakes on. Airport code, yes.
Engine off time logged. End of flight, registered in on-air company.
Okay. Well, the airport code is JAMI, but nothing seems to know where it is. Right, so we're going to fly back to... I mean, I suppose we could see. We're going to fly back to 42A. I doubt there's any jobs coming from here, but we can check. Honeycomb Yolk's pretty good. Oh my god. Right, so if you want to check if something goes to a specific airport, you need to click that. And then you put 42A in, I believe. I think that's the only way to search for stuff too, and that was added this week. So according to this, there isn't anything. But the distance, if you sort by distance, that's another way of looking, I guess. .63 nautical, that was. Yeah, so if there was any for 42A, it would show up here. There is quite a lot of goods from here, actually, yeah. Lots of food crates. But yeah, we're going to have to fly back now. Without anything. Which is a pain. So Jammy back to 42A. He did, Mickey Learjet, he did indeed. Will you find out for Wokingham either Monday or Tuesday? Because I think I saw you. Wokingham. I flew on... Whereabouts is Wokingham exactly? Whereabouts is Wokingham? I'll tell you if I flew over it. I flew on the 15th, which was Tuesday. Is Wokingham round here somewhere? Wokingham is Reading. In that case, no. I was not over here. No, I was over here. So that would be a negative. Negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
Welcome back, Nutter.
TOS system test. Okay.
Okay. No approaches.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
Dumbest, thank you for 39. So we still can't do a flight plan because we don't know where 42A is. So we don't know where Jammy is, but... Ah, that's right. I remember. It's a route ourselves to Zedog.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
Mr. Sommy, 59 months. That must mean 6 is around the corner. Blimey, dude. How does that work? Thank you for 59 months, sir. Okay, beacon light.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Have you noticed any improvements in the latest patch? Well, in the video I showed you FPS improvements in the Dreamliner. I've not seen a great deal in everything else, but it doesn't hurt to play with the glass cockpit setting. Right, let's get out of here. They broke sensitivity settings. What did? They completely removed. What, you mean? Wait, what? Using head tracking. Okay. What the heck was that? Let's try that again. What? How does this work?
Welcome back, Nutter.
That's really freaky. I've never seen it do that before. GC Boy and Fatty Beards, welcome back, guys.
Welcome back.
That's so bizarre. It's got to be to do with this thing. Right, flaps are takeoff, trim set. It's forward, lights are done. Barrels set.
Airborne time locked.
We're out of there. Green field.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
That is so tricky to spot. It just looks like any other strip of grass. Six-foot mouse, thank you for 2 months. I always wondered how scary it would be to meet a 6-foot mouse. Right, so we need to be... Hang on. Yeah, it needs to be a 3100 at ZOG. Which I think is what we put into that. Yep. That's where we want to be. What is it with these fields? Why do they all have this kind of wavy texture to them? So bizarre. Mr. London Controller. Wow, 2 months. That flew pretty quickly. Thank you, sir. Hope you're well. JT Airbus, 37 months. Would you consider flying on flat sim in the... Yes, yes, absolutely. It's just a matter of what I fly in and where I fly to, you know? They do look like console lines, but they're not, are they? But they are very strange. Very strange. Now, you don't see them anywhere else. It's the first time I've seen them. But they're absolutely everywhere. Look at that. It's really odd. Why would you have topographical map lines in a place that looks like a billiard table, though? Crop circles gone wild. I don't know. I can't understand, like, if they're man-made, why are they made in such a bizarre fashion? And what's the purpose? And why is it some fields don't have them? Feels to me more like a mistake.